picture this is sitting around.
Hi, my name's Dave Poland. I want to welcome you to Portland Film Beat. My guest tonight is Glenn Baggerly. He's an actor, fitness spokesperson, and model. He's appearing in over 75 productions, including infomercials, industrials, commercials, the TV series Grimm, where he has a recurring role. He's been on Leverage. He's also had roles in over 7 feature films. Most notably recognizable as the original Bowflex guy from what was around 1998 to 2002.
Yeah, 2002. Yeah.
He's currently a spokesman for the Journey Gym and a nationally certified personal trainer. Glenn played baseball at Mount Hood Community College and the University of Oregon, where he was the starting shortstop for 4 years and then went on to play professionally for 3 years in Italy. He had some fun things to say about that, that's for sure. At the age of 30, Glenn entered the U.S. Air Force and became one of the elite Special Forces Unit Search and Rescue. I think out of 80 people, they took 8, something like that?
We got 8 out of that one. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Anyway, welcome aboard, Glenn.
Thank you, Dave, for having me here.
You know what, the first thing I'm really interested in is I want to know about this new project that you got coming up. I know there's a lot of people that's got a lot of nice hype going for it right now. Tell us about that.
A couple of things, actually. New series. Brought to us from Thad Smith. It's called Combat Report.
Right.
It's
Okay.
World War II, 1944 occupied France. We've shot.
Shooting in Portland too, right?
Shooting in Portland and Scappoose. We've got 6 30-minute episodes already. We've got our fingers crossed for some great news coming soon. I play Lieutenant Colonel Ira Daly, and underneath me are
Ira Daly.
Ira Daly. And we're in France, and these young men that I have in my battalion here, they're basically World War II mercenaries, and they can go behind enemy lines and do any dang thing they want to do.
Oh, interesting concept.
Combat Report, that's a blast. That's been a fun one.
There's something better coming up, though, isn't there?
There's something better coming up.
Not the Combat Report was bad, but...
That was awesome, but World War II. Now, April 13th, we go to Bend. We start filming a new film, The Search for Shanna Starr.
Nice.
And,
okay, I've heard of it. I want you to tell them it's all about that, though.
Well, it's produced by a gentleman named Simon King. And a lot of local actors, Oregon actors, fantastic people in each character. Joanna Hart plays my wife. Young and upcoming gal by the name of Rochelle Henry plays the lead, the star.
She was on the show,
Shanna
actually.
Starr, delightful young gal.
Oh, gosh.
And in every Western, you've got a low life. And that's going to be Todd Robbins.
Yeah.
Is that perfect casting or what, you know?
But he's such a nice guy in real life.
He is a good guy. And this for me, I mean, you know, there isn't a guy in this country that wouldn't want to be in a Western.
Oh, no. There isn't every actor wants to be in a Western at some point. So you hit the jackpot with this.
This is a role of a lifetime for me.
Who's the director and writer of that?
Well, that's what makes it so interesting. I get a call from a kid a few months ago. His name is Isaac Medeiros. I don't know him. He's 20 years old. Calls me from Los Angeles and said, I've seen some of your work. I've got this Western script. I want you to read it. Okay? I wrote it. I'm directing it. And I'm also the co-star with you in it. So here's this 20-year-old kid.
I understand that.
This is a lot of hats. But this kid has such energy and such emotion and knowledge of Westerns. I read it and I thought, you know what? What a great piece of work to be involved in. You got a young filmmaker who's so energetic on what he's doing. He's cast everybody perfectly. And, you know, he's doing something that a lot of folks think, oh, yeah, right, direct, write, star in it. That ain't going to fly. But just the joy of being a part of something like that that's going to be good. And it's going to be a real Western like they used to make the old Westerns. So we're excited.
Is it going to shoot straight through for how many days, weeks, or?
About 3 straight weeks.
Wow.
Over in Bend, the Painted Hills, Smith Rock. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one.
I'm glad that you got that. I'm really excited for a lot of the Portland actors in it.
I appreciate that.
Rochelle and Joanna.
Oh, gosh, there's just so many. And
Todd,
Todd, Brian Sutherland, Dan Kyle, Dana Day, some great folks.
Wow, that's good. So what first got you interested in acting?
I didn't start acting. I started as a model. And in the early...
If you saw his picture on Facebook, you'd understand why.
I was 21.
For a 90-year-old guy, he looks really good. Let me tell you.
Thank you. I'm right there. No, I started modeling and fashion. Then I did fitness modeling, and throughout the course of my career, it's been interesting. I've kind of kept what I think taking stepping stones up to different things. I mean, I've done infomercials, I've done runway work, fashion, fitness, industrial, spokesperson, hosting. But I've always in the back of my mind said, you know, I want to be in film. I want to get in there, and that's why this particular part, to play a guy, and you know, one of my heroes is Clint Eastwood. And to get in there and play a part,
There's a lot of people,
that's the kind of role he used to play.
But the thing is we've been watching him since we were kids.
Yeah. We were kids when he started. You know?
Yeah.
Remember Rowdy Gaines?
Rawhide.
Rawhide, absolutely.
That was 69, 70.
In the spaghetti westerns, I mean, how can you duplicate Clint Eastwood? And that's, you know, frankly, he's my hero. He's my Western hero.
Okay, good, right.
Yeah.
You've done a lot of sports. So you played baseball for 4 years in college, which I got to give you kudos for. Then you played professionally in Italy for 2 years. But you've done a lot of other sports stuff too. You're a personal trainer.
Yeah.
How does sports help you with your acting? How has that helped lead up to being better
Immensely.
There's got to be something that how sports have helped you with your acting. Tell us about that.
Well, you learn how to win and you learn how to lose.
Boy, is that true.
And it's those games you lose when you come off the field. And what'd you learn from it? Where could you have gotten better? And you learned competition. You learned teamwork, because, you know, like in a good film set, when you got a team and it's gelling and everybody's jiving right, it's fantastic. But when it's
a big collaboration.
And it is. And I think that's helped me so much.
It can take one disruptive force to cause everything to go bad.
Oh, yeah. You know, and you got bad games and you got good days on the set where you can't remember a line, you show up late, your wardrobe's off. And to me, I think sports has helped me because it's just taught me teamwork. Teamwork.
Good.
Teamwork.
And also, to me, sports, why I think it's good for all young people to at least do sports a little bit, is it teaches you that you can have a good game and the team has a bad one.
Yeah.
Then again, you can have a bad game and the team has a good one.
Yeah.
You win, but you get back up and you play.
Yeah.
You know, you strike out, you get hit with the pitch. You just got to you know, tough it up and get in there and keep going. So.
And well, in a way, it's a lot like the film work. You know, you do a job, you go to the next one. You do the job and you play a game, you go to the next game.
Right.
And there's
a lot of correlation. You go to an audition, you get the part, or you don't. But you keep going. You got to go to the next game.
Well, for every no you get in this business, you're getting closer to a yes.
That's right. I like that attitude.
Yeah.
That's really great.
So I like the no's. I do. I like the no's because I know, oh, you gave me a no, it's one more down, I'm getting closer to a yes. Huh?
You got the big yes with Combat Report and
Lord, yeah.
The film. Tell us about your first audition.
My first audition was modeling, Dave. There was a company here called Meyer & Frank. I was 21 years old. And
it was bought by...
Nordstrom. Didn't they buy it?
Not Meyer & Frank, but...
Macy's.
Macy's bought it.
Right.
Yeah,
I was 21.
We remember it if we were here long. Everybody was here long enough, right?
Yeah. And the fashion coordinator there's a lot of people in Portland that will recognize this name. Her name was Rhoda. Feared.
We just remember the TV show.
Oh, yeah. Feared to go in and stand in front of her as a model. And that was really my first audition, to stand in front of her and have her, you turn left, you turn right. I was nauseous, I was sweating, just to be able to do a print work for Meyer and Frank. Oh. And I modeled, and then I got into more fitness modeling. I've done a lot of runway work for Nikes and Columbia Sportswear, but then I said to myself, you know what, I like this. I want to get in front of that camera. I want to do that.
You want to be active.
Yeah, whether, you know, some of the more enjoyable things I've done is just coming in for 2 or 3 days and doing an infomercial for a company. But now it's kind of...
You got a great voice for it.
Oh, well, thank you.
I used his voice on a campy thing I created called So You Want to Be a Politician.
That was campy.
And he was the narrator. It was campy. Oh, it was fun though.
Yeah.
Long day. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I interrupted.
No. It's funny, you know, I've done this for 30 years.
Wow.
And I never quit. You keep going, and then suddenly at 58 years old, you look at your wife and you call your mom, who's 82, and said, Mama, I'm going to be the lead in a Western. It's a bucket list for me. It's a bucket list.
I'm telling you, that's great. You told us about your first audition.
Yeah.
Let us enjoy your worst audition. Tell us about your worst audition.
Oh, gosh.
Are we going to enjoy it?
I was auditioning.
I'm already enjoying it.
Very first film I had the opportunity to do here in Portland was called Ghost Rider. A woman named Susan Shadburn did it. Susan Shadburn. I'd never been in a film in my life. And I'm auditioning, to work beside Dee Wallace and Cloris Leachman.
Really?
Yeah, I'm 25 years old, and I grew up in a British house. My mother's British, and they said, can you play a British man? Can you play a little Cockney on this one, mate, and be a soccer player? So I went in and I did my best accent in Cockney, and I get this part. And it was to sit beside those two actresses when I'd never been in a film in my life. One's here, one's there. You're Russian, and your heart's beating so darn fast just to sit beside those two people. And upon doing that, I said, I like this. I really like this. I like the energy of it, and getting in there and doing that. So,
what was your favorite character you have played? And tell us why afterwards.
I think it will be Matt Starr in The Search for Shannon Starr. But other than that, I did a gig for a video game called Dante's Inferno. And I play a guy.
That's the name of a bar here, too.
Yeah, I play a guy named Les Singer, and I have a video course that you can buy from me on how to get any woman you want. I can teach you how to get your brother's wife.
Oh, gosh.
And I play this cheesy guy. We did it through Wyden and Kennedy, and it was so fun to play because they let me improv a little bit. And it was a mail order thing to where you could mail it in. Well, it went over so well, they put it out there. Guys actually thought it was real. And they were responding, how do I get this course? I love this guy. I love this guy. And it was one of those ones, I just went out on a limb and said, imagine if this guy wrote books and did DVDs and he was a love guru. How am I going to come across?
Right, you could probably sell all the books. Put your picture on the front of the books.
It was on the back of the book. There he is, Les Singer, the love god.
The love god. Okay, how do you prepare for a role?
Depending on what I'm doing, you know, in the commercial work, one, you get your lines down, or you're going to read off a teleprompter. But like, for example, these two roles I'm doing now, specifically Matt Starr. I've had this script for 3 months. I've never had a script for 3 months in my career.
That's nice.
So to prepare for him, I have quite an imagination. I'm living in 1888 now every day. How do I walk? How do I talk? What kind of facial expressions did they use? What was their haircut like? That's why I'm letting my hair grow out. I'm not coiffing it to be perfect on this. I'm going in unbathed and dirty. I'm going in unshaven a lot more than this, because when the film opens, I've already been on the trail a week, and I don't look too good.
No, smell good either.
And my script is always with me, day in, day out.
Is that right?
And every day for 15, 20 minutes, I'll just look at a line, imagine this other character, imagine the horses and the fire and the scene. And I put myself there going, one of the things that I've always said to myself in my acting is, what do I want and how am I going to get it?
Right, okay, that's good.
As that character in that moment. And that takes me out of all the too much mental of how am I going to do? What do I want, what am I going to get? The same way I'm here right now. You know, what do I want, how am I going to get it?
You're not getting anything
I'm
from
getting
me.
it. I'm getting it.
I might put you on the spot, but that's about it. This is an interesting question.
Okay.
All right. Have you ever done any bad acting?
No. But I don't think I've ever seen a piece of work that I didn't see it and think I could have done better.
Okay, that's a good answer.
Wow, if I could do that again, I'd do it better. Yeah.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like giving up?
Never. Never felt like giving up, and that's why I've always kept at it. You know, I've done it more as opposed to an occupation, which pays your bills. It's a vocation to me. It's always enjoyable. It's never been about the money. If it was about the money, I would have quit a long time ago. It's just the thrill of doing it and getting out there and being a part of something to where when it's done, whether it's craft services and wardrobe and hair and everything else and the electricians and everybody else involved, you have a good product and it comes out and you're proud of it. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, it did.
Did you remember what the question was?
Yeah, I do. I've got a lot going on here, buddy. I'm sorry. Anyway, so
I can see that.
What? It's interesting what happens behind the scenes.
You said this was going to be comfortable, and I'm grooving. I'm all right. I'm good here.
So what is your favorite part of filmmaking?
That's an interesting question. I think getting the call that you got the part.
Wow, okay. Yeah.
Of all, you know, you go in and you're competing against 5, 6, 8, 10, 12 guys. And to me, it's that rush of when you get the call and say, Glenn, you're booked for this part, you know deep in your heart, I got the part because that's what the director wanted.
Yeah, absolutely.
He wanted me, and getting the part and knowing that when I show up, and I've always enjoyed, and I think it's great in this business. The reward is when your peers acknowledge you.
Yeah, isn't
And
that
come
great?
up and say, Glenn, I saw that was a nice piece of work, or why'd you do that? To be acknowledged by your peers, that's the reward here, really. To have people say, I really liked what you did there.
Well, you have a recurring role in Grimm. How many episodes have you been on?
I was in 3.
Right.
And I'm a bit concerned that they haven't used the SWAT team in a long time. I think I need to get back in there.
Oh, yeah, we'll have to get a hold of them about that.
They need some doors busted open.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
So what's your least favorite thing about filmmaking?
The uncertainty. The uncertainty of
expand
the
upon
wait.
There's a lot of waiting.
You know, there's a lot of waiting. And you really have to, in your mind, you become a professional waiter.
Sometimes.
You wait at home, you wait on the set, you wait in your car, you wait for the weather to change, you're waiting and waiting. Well, at the same time, you got to stay in that mindset to deliver when you can deliver.
Great. Right.
Yeah. And not getting more parts, that's one of the worst things about
isn't
anything.
it?
You know?
When there's dry periods in between
Lord.
good parts.
Well, I don't think a lot of people realize, particularly public, how many auditions we go to
Right.
get a part.
Right.
And you think, oh, you're working all the time, you're an actor. No. You know, and that's where I, like I say, you know, the more auditions I get, the happier I am because I'm getting closer to getting one. I have to be. Law of average says I got to get one here eventually.
You hope so. So what is your favorite film?
My personal favorite film?
Yeah, your personal favorite
unquestionably.
film.
I got 2 of them.
Oh, that's okay if you have
It's
two.
A Wonderful Life with Jimmy Stewart.
You and Carol.
And,
I have to watch that movie at least once a year.
And The Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz is a
Wizard
good
of
movie.
Oz. I think that's the most fabulous fantasy movie ever made.
You know, people ask you, what's your favorite line from a movie? Mine is when the wizard says, you don't judge the size of a heart. Wait,
Yeah.
you don't judge the size of a heart by how much you love, but by how much you are loved.
Right.
And it's such a
And
true
my favorite line in the movie is when the wizard gets noticed and he goes, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
That is funny.
Good movie. It's still good to me to watch those 2 movies.
What kind of inspiration have you drawn from It's a Wonderful Life and The Wizard of Oz? I wonder because...
Imagination.
Okay.
Just the imagination of, in both of those films, there's a lot of good and there's a lot of evil.
Yeah.
And evil can overcome good. And when you see it develop through a film, like, oh boy, I'd like to see that overturned. And for me, it was just, particularly for It's a Wonderful Life, there was desperation there was love there, and there was camaraderie amongst the townspeople. And that movie has always got me. And Jimmy Stewart was at his best. At his best.
That movie is a great movie.
It's a classic
movie. I mean, because we all feel like we're insignificant at some point in time in our life.
Yeah.
And it addresses the fact that we all have meaning, and there's
Yeah.
a reason why we do affect other people
Yeah.
profoundly, even though we don't think we do. And that's what I like about the movie. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Is there a common type of film genre that you relate to more?
Westerns.
Okay.
I like Westerns because I'm a voracious reader. I read 3 or 4 books, 5 books a month. And in college, I studied Western American literature. And I got into,
really?
I got into the Westerns. I've read, seriously, close to probably 300. And I know when I read this script, I said, I don't have to act in this. I am Matt Starr.
Good for you.
I can picture myself being a cowboy and a gunslinger, and I would have been a Matt Starr. And I think once a film comes out and you hear the narration, to admit that I could be Matt Starr, he wasn't a pleasant guy in his youth. Oh no, he was a Confederate rebel at 16 years old, and I come out of the war and I'm not a happy guy. And
What does that to you?
I go on a killing rampage. I'm a Jesse James, Billy the Kid, worse, but I never get caught. And I come back one day, and my beautiful wife, Joanna, is been abused and murdered, and my little daughter Shanna's gone.
Oh.
Well, I know who did it, so I go to find him. And that's what this is about. And I find him.
Okay.
But along the way, Isaac Medeiros, the co-star, he bushwhacks me and arrests me.
Okay.
Or so he thinks.
All right. Well, we'll learn more about that.
Yeah.
Huh? What A-list director would you like to work with?
Eastwood.
Okay, I was expecting that.
Eastwood or Sean Penn.
Okay.
Sean Penn. I had the opportunity to stand beside Sean a few years ago while he filmed a movie. And what impressed me so much with it was He goes up to the lead actor and says, "Are you okay?" He says, "Yeah." "Do you know your lines?" "Yeah." He goes, "Well, put them in your own effing words." And when he said that, I thought, that's the type of director I want. Take what's written there, but move it around and put it in your own words, but deliver.
Right.
I loved it.
Yeah,
loved it.
there's some directors who want you to, or writers want
Yeah.
you to say every word the way it is.
Yeah.
But I've met so many that are like, it's got to roll off your tongue.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't roll off your tongue, you got to make it roll off your
Yeah.
tongue, because that's what's important.
Yeah.
Really, is the delivery of the lines through the character.
Right.
And you got to make them your own. So, what do you consider the elements of a good film? And then again, what do you consider the elements of a great film?
Elements of a good film. Funny little things, how we each differ in what we like. I like scenic films. There's landscape shots. A lot going on in the background with that. Good audio. It's paramount, the audio.
Oh my gosh.
Anymore.
Well,
I
I've
don't
done
think
some
people
things.
realize if you can't hear a film and you go, "What do you say? What do you say?"
Well, I've got a couple things I want to shoot, and
Yeah.
until I get some good audio, I am not going to do it. That's
Right,
for sure.
right.
I'm just not.
That's a big. And good writing. If it's a good script, it's so much easier to read that and go, "Oh my gosh, I got this. I got this.
Right.
I got this."
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
good audio is more important than good imagery, actually.
It's better than good filming. If you've
Yeah.
got bad audio, it doesn't matter if you've got good filming. You
Just
can't hear it or it's on. No, it's got to be clear and it's got to be concise. And another thing for me, I mean, when I watch a film, okay, I'm looking at the story, I'm looking at the writing, but does that character look the part to me? It's got to look the part, particularly in a Western.
Yeah.
I mean, these outlaws we have in this one, these guys,
They look the part.
it's the
You
deal.
look like, yeah,
It's
you
the
look like a good.
deal. Yeah.
Who is your favorite A-list actor, and why?
That's a good question.
Okay,
And
who's
it's
your favorite
very-
A-list actor? But what A-list actor would you also like to work with?
I thought about that on the way in here. I said, you know, I like Eastwood and Jimmy Stewart and a lot of the old guys. I think the two guys that really do good work right now, and I enjoy watching them, is Joaquin Phoenix and Tom Cruise. They deliver.
You know, Tom Cruise.
They deliver.
He's always been on the fringe as far as what they consider a great actor. But
Yeah.
I think he's done.
Yeah.
He's really gotten to where he's outstanding.
Yeah. It's personal, you know. I like the guy. We're the same age, roughly. And when he is cast in a film, nobody could do it differently than Tom Cruise.
No.
He's on the money, and he does his own stunts.
I read a thing too that he's well prepared.
Oh,
He is one of the
absolutely.
most well prepared
Yeah.
actors there are. He doesn't mess around. He
Yeah.
knows his lines and everything. So
Yeah.
you'd like to work with them. Okay,
Yeah.
what A-list actress do you like the most, and which one would you like to work with?
That's another interesting question. Meryl Streep comes to mind just because of her just ability to
Her
do so
range,
different
yeah.
much. But I've always had a little, I've always liked Deborah Winger.
You haven't seen her in a long
I
time.
love Deborah
but
Winger. I think she's great. When she
Terms
did
of
Urban
Endearment,
Cowboy,
Urban Cowboy, Terms of Endearment.
yeah, I think she's great. It's just, you look at some of those actresses and actors and go, you know what? I'd really like someday, if I can, I'd like to work with that person just to see how they are and just to work with them, and you know that you could gel with them. So, yeah.
Right, cool.
Yeah.
That's great. Where would you like to see yourself in 5 years?
Well, not doing time. I don't want to be doing time.
No, that's good.
No.
That's an interesting answer.
A goal for me has always been, I'd like to be a consistent working actor.
Okay.
Consistent,
What
meaning 3 or 4 days a week.
TV series or movies?
It could be a TV series. Heck, I wouldn't mind being the host of Jeopardy. I could host a TV show. I've always wanted to do that.
I thought the same thing the other day.
Yeah, you know, dating game, something like that, or newlywed game like
But
Bob.
you're there, you get to go and
But
work every
film.
day. Yeah, film especially.
To
of
be a
course.
working actor in film, or I do like series. I mean, Combat Report for me, this is the first series I've ever been cast in a recurring role.
Were you in all 6 episodes?
5.
5?
5.
That's nice,
And
though.
smaller part, but very pivotal part, because the orders I give, these 9 boys, they're expendable in the eyes of the government and the President of the United States.
Wow.
And I put them out on a mission, and my attitude is just get yourselves home.
Wow.
Yeah, just get yourselves home.
Okay, what do you recommend to those wanting to get started as an actor? And you can talk right to the camera.
Sure.
We'll go right to camera 3 there. Yeah.
Sure.
Tell
My
people.
recommendation, well,
I mean,
to
really get
anybody,
into this.
girls, boys, male, female, get in there and do it. Try it all. I mean, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Think, here's what I want to do. I want to stay just with film. Do the commercials, do the infomercials, do the hosting, do the modeling. Whatever you can do to get in this business, go for it. Get in there and go for it. And never quit. I mean, never ever quit. I've kept doing this for 30 years, and now it's more enjoyable than ever because I've put my chops in, and I guess
you get more relaxed at it too, don't you?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. And you know your limitations, and when you've done it this long, you think, all right, my ego's gone from when I was in 20s. I thought I should have got every part, and I was pissed that I didn't. I mean, come on, I can do this. But the older you get and the more parts you do, you realize I got cast as that because I'm the right guy.
Right.
And when you know that,
a lot of
it's
times
easier
it's
to
just
show up. No,
you go in, you can do the best job auditioning and wonder why you didn't get the part, and you just weren't right for it.
Yeah. Well, then you've done it yourself. You know, when you see the product come out and you didn't get the part, you go, oh, that's what they were looking for.
Right.
Oh, I'm not even remotely close to that.
Right.
Why did I even audition for that?
Right, right. So, your military training.
Yeah.
How is that going to help you with this coming the Western, and did it help you with combat report especially?
Oh my, that training was, well, realize we started with
it was pretty intense training too.
80 guys started.
Right.
It's about 2 years of training, 8 guys finished. And our job was to go behind enemy lines and get those downed air crew members any way we could.
Right.
Any way we could. And when I went in, I said, what's the one thing you guys can tell me to make this? And they all just looked at me. You don't quit. In the swimming pool, on the mountain, in the helicopter, no matter what, you don't quit. And it's
kind of like SEAL training. Only...
well, we trained with SEALs. We just had a different mission.
Okay.
They would go in and kill people. We'd go rescue them.
Oh, okay, got
Basically,
it.
yeah.
So that training, that had to have helped with combat report.
Oh, unquestionably.
Right.
Unquestionably. Because once you've been in the military, particularly doing something like I had the opportunity to do in Special Forces, you know what these guys are doing and what their goal is. And we had a statement when I was in pararescue. These things we do so that others may live. And another one was, to those who understand, no explanation is possible. To those who do understand, no explanation is necessary.
Wow. Powerful.
Same with the film. You know, if you don't understand what's going on in this business, I can't explain it to you. But if you know what's going on, you got to get in there and you got to take your whacks. You're going to get a lot of no's and you're going to get an enormous amount of rejection. And love the rejection because it's getting you closer to the yes.
You're going to get a lot of no's. That's right.
Yeah.
We're running out of time here at Portland Film Beat. I want to thank Glenn for showing up.
Thank you.
It was an awesome time. He's a fun guy.
Thank
I've
you.
known him for a while. And I want to thank you for tuning in and watching. I have to thank Ellery Nelson, who is my director. Phil and Sue Holmes are my assistant directors. I have to especially thank my wife, Carol Poland, who's the executive producer and really helps us do all of this, right? Yeah,
it's a team, isn't it?
It's a team.
It's a teamwork, all these guys.
But there's also some people down here at TVC TV that have been extremely helpful to me. That is Jonathan Kaufman, Krista, Kevin Howard, and Joni Jorgensen. They've all been extremely helpful, and I'm very thankful to everybody. Until next time on Portland Film Beat, shoot for the silver screen.